some farmers could argue that the government's trying to pass back costs to the industry when previous administrations have got us to where we are now in the first place. I take it that you disagree with that.
Well, I do disagree with that because what I'm interested in doing is finding a system which works and actually moves towards a historic objective, which is getting back to TB-free status for the whole of the country. And what we've seen in other countries is that where industry and government have worked closely together in partnership, that is where we've been most effective. We can only do so much from the point of view of government. We think we can achieve an awful lot more if we actually work with industry.
There's a lot of resource here aimed at the high-risk areas. Shouldn't we be concentrating more resource on the front-line edge areas, fighting the battle on the front line, as it were?
Well, we're very clear, actually. This is the first time we've identified the edge area as being a key battleground, and the new proposals that we're going to be putting into place if this strategy is agreed deals directly with stopping the spread of the disease in the edge areas and, if possible, reversing it. So it does mean that we'll be doing a little more work directly with farmers in those areas. It does mean that we'll be using vaccination of the badger population in those areas rather more. It means that we'll have risk-based surveillance of TB in badgers so that we know what's going on, and we'll be looking more at the cattle in those areas so that we can identify what can be done in terms of identification at an early stage and dealing with herd breakdowns when that happens. So actually a lot of work will be done in the edge areas so that we can be fairly sure that we are targeting what we need to target on the most effective measures to stop spread of the disease.
And if the strategy is deemed to be acceptable, when would we see it be implemented?
Well, obviously the strategy is a long-term strategy, has lots of elements in it. There are elements within it which we would certainly want to be getting underway. Indeed, there are things which are already underway, as you know, for instance, the cull pilot areas, but there are others where if we have early buy-in from the industry and from the wider public, then I think we can make rapid advances. There are other areas where we want to move quickly, but we can only move as fast as